What's up, everybody?
How's everybody doing?
Chris and Lisa Lupo joining you guys on this Tuesday night. I already tagged Chris. How's everybody doing? Say what's up when you hop on. We have been away for a little bit. We haven't done a live in a while.
Busy,
hey, Ryan.
Busy last week.
Yeah, busy week. I was out of town. What's up, guys? Say what's up. Hey, Bobby.
Is this on your page or mine?
How you guys doing? What's up, Reggie?
What's up, Reg?
Reggie's in the house.
How you doing, brother?
This is on mine,
Uh,
I think. Yeah, because it asked me if I want to tag you.
okay.
So we are talking tonight about the image that you guys often see. What's up, buddy? The image that you guys often see, or we often see, that says, you know, the line to success, the path.
It's not necessarily an image as much as it's an idea.
Well, it's an idea, but you guys have all seen the little image that floats around. That's like a straight line is what you think is the road to success.
Your plan.
Your plan versus reality, which is like ruts and divots and detours and all sorts of obstacles, setbacks, walls, you name it. And so we were going to talk about that tonight. Two things, about the fact that, obviously there is no top, right? So on the image, and I'm referring to this image because we shared it earlier on one of our pages, but it shows a flag. It shows like a finish line flag at the end. And I just wanted to allude to that because there is no top, right? There is no finish line.
There's finish lines with goals, right? There's usually goals have an endpoint of some kind, and that's the measurement for success or failure or whatever you want to call it.
What's up, Randy?
Typically, when it comes to having a vision, it's more of the big picture, the idea of what you want things to look like and be and feel like. And so it's not necessarily measurable, and obviously I think you need both goals and a vision,
And you get to the goal, and it's almost like you tap the bell and you just keep going, right? It's not like there's a finish line and you're there and you've arrived and you've made it, because we all know, we've all probably experienced that, where you've basically had a deadline goal that you thought was the pinnacle of all things, and once you accomplished it, you thought you were going to be there.
Right.
And you get there and you realize, oh, I'm here now. Okay, now what? And so we know just from experience that we have to keep creating goals. We have to keep raising the bar for ourselves and keep creating vision, and that not buy into the idea that there's a finish line of some kind, or that there's a top.
When we meet our goal, we tend to feel as though we've arrived.
Right.
And a lot of times when you feel as though you've arrived,
you stop growing.
So,
hey, Nicola.
It's important to not get to that goal and be complacent. However, as far as goals that you're setting, it's important that you're setting those goals that it's linked more to your spirit and your true self, and not so much your ego.
And the person that you want to be, like how you want to operate in the world, the person that you want to be, the energy you want to bring, the way you want to interact in your relationships, not just the thing you accomplished, the trophy, the title,
the things you accumulate,
the whatever it is, because those things feel really good, right? It feels really good when you get the trophy, or you arrive at some point in your life and you've like, yes, I made it, I did that. But it's more about who you are, who you're being behind all of that, right?
Not the things you accumulate.
How you're showing up in your relationships. Like I said, what's it like at home? What's it like when the cameras are off and nobody's cheering you on for whatever it is that you're going after? That's where it's at, because at the end of the day, like at the end of our lives, what matters most is not the trophies and the accomplishments and all of those things. It's the people. Mm-hmm. It's the people in your life. It's the experiences. And, so we have to remember that along the journey, that yes, those things are great, the accomplishments and the things that we get to feel really good about ourselves for achieving, but it's who we're becoming along the way. And, we've had our fair share of thinking that we we wanted to be at a certain point, thinking that was the pinnacle.
We wanted to have certain things.
Thinking that we wanted to have certain things, that would create happiness, that would take us to the next level and make us feel
happiness is not something you can buy or accumulate. It's something you just are.
And it's really learning to be happy with what you have.
Grateful.
Happy and grateful with what you have, and
recognizing things as a gift, whether they're good or bad, and using it as a means of contrast to learn from.
Yeah.
Right, Reg? Absolutely.
So we were going to talk a little bit about just like that journey of, when you start a new program, let's say in our world, it's transformation, right? It's
body, mind, and spirit
nutrition, it's fitness, it's mindset, it's spiritual growth, it's all of those things. It's all of the things that combine wellness. And when you embark on a new program or a new journey, or even you start a new career, or you start
there's always the honeymoon
anything.
Phase.
Yes,
when you start or kick off something new that you're hoping will inspire change, there's often a honeymoon phase or a phase where everything's great.
You're like on a high because you're excited,
and it's called inception. All right, so you're motivated, everything's positive, and a lot of times what happens along the journey of transformation as we go through, there's different phases of growth, and we talked about that in a live a while back. And so when you come in, a lot of times you're in inception, and then as you migrate through the cycle of growth, this is one of the things we're learning from Healthy Mind and Body, you're going to encounter deception. And deception might pop up when there's some kind of resistance or obstacle or something happened, and it either knocks you off or it tests you.
Yeah.
And a lot of times this is where people quit, because they realize that they don't currently have what it takes to get to where they want to go. They might feel overwhelmed. They might feel like they don't have guidance. They might feel, they start to doubt. Doubt creeps in, and this is where we have to basically learn to look at this as, okay, that's a good thing, because you're actually moving through the cycle of growth, and to embrace that momentarily and look for the gift of this resistance. And because it's through resistance or overcoming obstacles that we grow. It's just like in the gym. All right, when you go into the gym, now we as humans tend to seek the path of least resistance when it comes to doing things that are good for us. We tend to go with the least resistance because we don't like to encounter resistance. We want things to be smooth. We want things to be comfortable.
Easy.
Because our subconscious mind likes that. Our ego likes that. Our ego and subconscious mind doesn't want to change us. So we have to learn to celebrate that and recognize it as such, as just a period or a phase you're working through. Yeah. And basically to stay connected with your vision and stay connected with your why, and that's what got you in action in the first place. Something happened where you decided to make a change, and something happened where you basically, it was your aha moment, or the moment that said, okay, it's time to do something. Whether you're feeling sick and tired of being sick and tired or whatever it is, that's what got you in motion to make a change. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and oftentimes, we come up against those same feelings of deception over and over and over again, and that happens a lot in wellness journeys, in health journeys, transformational journeys, where you get a little bit of progress, you get a little bit of feeling good, seeing results, and you come up against that deception. Yep. And what happens is your subconscious mind goes back to the old habits. It goes, this is not working, this is not safe. Somebody might get in your ear about, well, what are you doing? Why are you doing that program? Or, you shouldn't do that, you should do this. And all of a sudden, you start having these questions in your mind of, am I doing the right thing? Should I still be doing this? And
that could be family, that could be friends, that could be coworkers, that could be your husband, your boyfriend, your wife, your girlfriend, whatever it is.
Anybody in your life. And what happens is that just that little bit of doubt that someone places in your mind at that point when you're in that vulnerable moment of deception, of not knowing, of feeling like you hit a plateau, or feeling frustrated, or feeling like, self-doubt. All it takes is one person to just drop a little something in your ear, and all of a sudden you revert back to those old habits, because that's the path that's rutted out.
That's what you know.
That's the path that you've gone down so many, and you're like, you know what, they're right. What was I thinking that I could really do it this time? And that's how we go back. And then we start again, right? And we hit up against the same walls, and it keeps happening. And the biggest thing that I've learned in just the work that we do in my own journey is understanding what deception is and knowing that it's coming.
Right.
Because when you don't know it's coming and you don't know what it is,
It knocks you out.
you're just like, this is too hard. Sorry, I was getting a call.
Blindside you.
This is a sign. This is something that I shouldn't be doing this. I'm being told that I shouldn't be doing this, and we go right back. Where when we know that it's coming and we're prepared for it, we know the only way through this, the only way to get past this is to go right through it, right? You can't go around it. There is no going around the obstacle. You have to go right through it, and you have to feel the resistance, and you have to push through it. And it's
and
that
sometimes it's easier said than done. And so what happens when people start to experience deception is their thoughts start gaining their momentum and their subconscious thoughts, and things start popping in their head that are negative, and it kind of gains momentum. And so you have to quiet your mind. Okay, and this is where meditation comes in.
Yes.
All right, this is where meditation is a valuable tool, because if you can learn to focus on I tell people meditation is easier than people think. What I do when I meditate is 5-second inhale, 5-second hold, 5-second exhale. If I count 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000, that many times, you're focusing on your breathing, you start to forget all the other crap that's going around.
Yep.
And you become present, and you let that go momentarily. And you can train yourself to do that over and over again. Or focus on the space between your breath. And that's, the easiest way to people say meditation is hard. It's hard as you make it. Mm-hmm. And the whole goal with meditation is to become present and to quiet your mind.
Yeah, mindfulness,
so
stillness.
When you quiet your mind and become present, you're basically more in tune with your spirit and your true self. And so the ego tends to shut up a bit, and your spirit tends to pop in there, and your true self.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are intimidated, like I was, of meditation, because I thought I had to have it all figured out. Like, I got to know how to meditate. I have to sit a certain way.
Sit like this.
I have to have candles and things, and I have to have it. Like, you see pictures of people that meditate that are really good at it, or they're very practiced at it, and you think, I could never do what they do. I don't even know how to start. Well, it's really just about quieting your mind and being present, and really starting with like a minute. Like, for me, it took me doing it for a minute to learn that I could do it for a minute,
right.
And then 5 minutes, and then 15 minutes, and then now I go to sleep I meditate every night when I go to sleep. I put my headphones in, and I listen, and I just focus on my breath, and I, just like what Chris was saying.
And that's important, actually, two times to do that if you can, or before you go to sleep, right? Because whatever thoughts you have in your head when you go to sleep are going to basically stew and ferment overnight. And so when you wake up with that, going to bed that way, if it's bad, sometimes you start the day off with that sour taste from the previous day. Mm-hmm. And so it's good to basically clean the slate,
reset,
quiet the mind before you go to sleep, and that way any negative momentum, you break it. Yep. And so you can start the day fresh. And the best way to start the day fresh, like we like to tell people to do, and Reggie told me this, gratitude, affirmations, and some sort of spiritual work or prayer. Thanks, Reg.
So good to see you, buddy. Brother. Yeah, and anybody that's on right now, we did an interview with Reggie on our podcast. It's amazing. He has so many good points, and just, wow. Anyway, go listen to it, because it's
I listened to it again today, Reg.
We listened to it over and over again, just writing notes, learning as much as we can from you, because you're just amazing and have helped us so much. But yeah, I mean, with the whole quieting your mind thing, the other thing is, sorry, we got a helicopter coming through, is not believing everything you think. I was just listening actually to another podcast today, and it was really, really interesting. It was talking about how most of the thoughts that run through our mind during the day are based around fear. And don't believe them, because they're all based around your fears. Unless you're doing some serious work and you've already done the work. You've already gotten to a point where you have control over your thoughts, and you are able to shut them down and all of that.
Before you have control, you have to have mindset, the mindfulness that's what it is.
Recognition. You have to be aware of it.
You have to be able to recognize it first.
You have to be aware of it. But most of us are walking around thinking thoughts that are not true. Thinking things that
may have been at one point
wired in your subconscious mind, beliefs from childhood or from things that have happened to you, or experiences you've had, things you've seen, and you've picked up, and you've created an idea or a perception of life, of
Core
certain
beliefs.
things.
Reggie
And
calls these core beliefs.
you may have had what does he call it? A life something experience?
Life identifiable.
A life identifiable experience where something traumatic happened to you, or something really, really powerful shifted your life in some way, and it's been carried with you through your whole life. And your thoughts, your actions, your beliefs, the things you say are all connected to that core belief. And so if you think about it, most of the time we're thinking things that are connected to whatever that is. And if it's something that's, an old pain or an old hurt or trauma, it's just, you're just repeating it over and over and over again, and you're seeing the world through that lens, and it's not serving.
Right.
It's not serving us, right? So that was really cool for me to hear, just like, don't believe everything you think, right? Like, tell it to shut up and think of something positive and move in a positive direction. So anyway, what else did you want to say?
I think that's pretty much it.
We'll wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
We just wanted to pop in here because we
pop
hadn't
in and get a quick one in.
been on for a while, and we're still here, and we're committed to this lifestyle, this lifestyle of growth and transformation, and it's not always easy, and I know there's a lot of people out there that think, oh, they do this or they do that, they have it all figured out, or they're health and fitness or whatever. It's everybody goes through challenges. Everybody struggles. We have days where it's not good, or it's tough and it's challenging, but we just you just got to get right back on track.
In tune with that vision and where you want to go.
Yep, reconnecting.
You got to be connected.
Yep. Reconnecting with your vision, reconnecting with where you want to go.
As you get better at it and you're able to recognize that deception is creeping in, that's when you're better at getting right back in tune with your vision and your why and what you got and what got you in motion in the first place. Okay, that's a skill, and then the way you develop a skill is repetition.
Just like anything, consistency.
Consistency.
Oh, healthy mind and body. So if any of you are needing some sort of support, I know we have a lot of our Isogenics team on here watching, and you guys know about the Healthy Mind and Body program. Our team started it yesterday, and we're committed to it. It's a 60-day program, and it's awesome.
I want to give a shout out.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm going to give a shout out to Renat because I got to tell you,
she's amazing.
I've worked with people for 25 years, and I don't expect everybody to be like this, but she was pretty much 100% compliant.
Coachable.
And very coachable, and listened, and, basically in 4 weeks, gained 2 pounds of muscle, lost 2 pounds of fat, feels better, revamped her training. She's doing awesome. And I want to say consistency is why it happens.
Yep, period. And she's always on these lives, and she's always doing personal development, mindset work.
That's mindset, spiritual work too. I mean, spiritual.
Yep.
We say mindset, and when we say mindset, we're encompassing some sort of spiritual
growth.
Work.
Yeah.
Something.
Absolutely. Yeah, Renat, you're awesome, girl. We're so happy to be connected to you. Definitely. And it's fun. It's so fun working with people who are committed and consistent, and they don't question the process. They just do. They just go. They just embrace it, and they take the journey, and it's awesome. So anyway, back to Healthy Mind and Body. Any of you guys who need some support, it's an online program. It's every single day. It's about 15-20 minutes a day, and it's really, really great way to build consistency around moving in a positive direction. If you're somebody who really struggles with your mindset, if you're somebody who has a really hard time getting out of that negative thinking, you wake up in the morning and life is happening to you and you can't get out of that thinking, that negative spot, this is a great way to do that. It really helps kind of disrupt those negative patterns, those negative thought patterns, and helps you to start creating healthier, positive thought patterns, celebrating yourself, celebrating the things that are working in your life, encouraging you to get into gratitude and really being proud of yourself for the things that are working instead of focusing on the stuff that's not working, because we all have stuff in our life that's not working, and if we focus on that, it grows. So this program is awesome. If anyone needs support, let us know. We can hook you up with it, and that's it. We'll sign off.
Signing off.
Chris is nudging me to zip it.
Wrap it up.
So I'm gonna zip it. We'll see you guys next time.
Wrap it up, B.
Bye.